Hey guys, I wanted to delve into the world of smartwatches for one reason and one reason only, was the implications of being used as a kind of backup device when you're in the woods, camping, hunting, fishing, and things like that, as not only as a communications item, as a backup, but also as something you can use as a compass, a map, and all that stuff. Because in the end, the old saying, one is none, two is one, etc., is really important. So I wanted to use this as a way, because I'm not the biggest tech guy on earth, so I kind of wanted to see what I could get out of this thing, and is it worth it in the end. So this is the Allcall W1. This is a relatively inexpensive budget smartwatch, and I have the display set pretty low, so because batteries don't last very long in these things, guys. I actually have two of them, this and another brand, and the batteries don't last long. If you're using them on full brightness, batteries go pretty quick. The biggest complaint I have about these is, in fact, that your batteries are going to go in a very short order of time. I mean, you're not going to... it's just not going to... last you days on end. You're talking like one work day. So this thing has all kinds of capabilities. You have Wi-Fi, you have Bluetooth, you have, all that fun stuff. It has the built-in pedometer, all the health stuff as far as keeping track of your heart rate and all that stuff if you're into exercise. But the cool thing is that you have Android capability in here as well. Sorry about the lighting, guys. It's just isn't really working out. It can work with your music as well and all that stuff. We're going to go to settings and bump that brightness up. There we go. How's that, guys? Give ourselves a nice new focus, which didn't work very good. Alright, let's try this. There we go. We got her now. Alright. So, 2-button operation. A bottom and a top. Oh, how much better does that look now? But this thing has everything that you would use like on your phone. This is essentially an extension of your phone. Everything from sound recording, if you want to record conversations, weather, calendar, calculator, music. I've installed compass and GPS stuff on there as well. But yeah, there's a lot on here, guys. It can connect it to your phone via Bluetooth. And there's tons of Bluetooth ads that will let you use this thing as a backup device. Now, here's the thing. Now, these things, being they only connect through Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, how is that a backup? If you lose your phone, you're screwed. Well, I thought about this, and the cool thing about this particular model, and I know a lot of other models do too, is you can connect it with a SIM card. So I got one of these Freedom Pop SIM cards, which pretty much gives you like a bare bones data plan for like nothing. But you can always upgrade and pay for minutes and all that stuff. But I'm not going to use it for that. I just really want GPS and data so I can use it for maps and things like that. Because in the end, if I'm hunting or fishing or something like that, I lose my phone, I drop my phone in the water or something like that. I want this to be a backup. That I can look at maps, I can call for help and do those things I need to do, as well as have GPS functionality. So in the end, the investment of this and the card, which was literally like cents, a couple of pennies, is not bad for a backup, and I can use this, you get your notifications and all that stuff, weather, which that isn't my location apparently. But yeah, this thing, the battery goes quick, guys. You can see, just leaving that display on drains that battery very fast at high. But yeah, you can sync this with your phone, put all your contacts in there. You can put all kinds of like GPS tracking apps. So like if I'm out backpacking, I can actually have my wife track me with this thing. Now the battery's an issue, but this thing's also USB rechargeable. There's a charging port in the back. You can charge it USB with a power bank, which is awesome. I also am a big guy for listening to music in the woods. I really like listening to music, and having this to be able to control Bluetooth things, be able to control Bluetooth like Bluetooth speakers and things like that, like this Sunbay speaker I love, things like that. It's kind of nice. So, you can see that battery's just ticking, guys. So yeah, smartwatches are pretty cool. They're not perfect, guys. I think the technology is a long way to go. These batteries are really weak. They don't last. For example, if you put this on in the morning and go to work, and say you use it, you look at the time every so often, you check the time, you maybe get on the internet or something here and there, play around. By the time you get home, your battery's almost toast. If you only use it as a watch, it's a different story. Now, you can set this thing in many ways. You can set this thing so that in airplane mode, so that it's essentially a watch only. Then you just hit your button, check your time, hit your button, and turn it off again. Or you can set it to, there's a wrist mode where anytime you flip your wrist up, it will turn on its own. But I like leaving it off, then just when I want to look at it, turn it on, turn it off. If you use it sparingly a couple times a day, your battery will probably last you quite a while. Especially if you were to put this thing into, airplane mode, which you have that option right here. You can put on airplane mode, and that cuts off all the data. But turning off Bluetooth and all those other things, Wi-Fi and Bluetooth dramatically increases your battery life. The location feature does as well. So yeah, there's a lot you can do to battle that, like mine, I set like a couple seconds shut off, so it shuts off if you don't touch it. But yeah, I mean, like there's so much, like if I'm out hiking, this is kind of cool because I can, like see your heartbeat. You can use it as a pedometer. You can use it, as a GPS. There's just so many different things I can use this for, which is what makes this thing really, really interesting and awesome. Of course, you have all the different dial faces. You can download hundreds and hundreds of faces so you can have what you want on your front page. I like the battery, the steps, and the heart rate. Heart rate seems to be reasonably accurate. I actually worked at a doctor's office, and it was only off by a couple of beats. Like, I think my heart rate at the doctor's was like 78, and this showed like 82 or 83, so it's relatively close. It's not too far off. But yeah, I've kind of gotten into this, and I'm going to do a separate video down the line, guys, now that I have this Freedom Pop thing. I'm going to do the Freedom Pop. I'm going to do it for like a month or so, and I'm going to do a review just on Freedom Pop and the functionality that it gives you to turn this smartwatch into a standalone, essentially a phone. Now, I don't plan to get the minutes so I can make phone calls. I just want the data. I want the data and the GPS service so that I can use this for that. And then at that point, if you have data and GPS, you can send text messages, you can look at maps and all those things that I really want this for, which is as a backup for maps and to use GPS apps and things like that. Now, some of the apps are a real pain in the neck. And I'm going to be honest, like these things are not perfect. They are far, 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 far from perfect. But being able to check the weather and stuff like that. But some of these things, like if you bring up maps, you get it in this weird square. And it can be really difficult to read because you don't always have a zooming feature in with this thing. So yeah, it can be a little difficult. But, if you work with it, guys, and that's the end, you work with it. And you can get quite a bit out of this. So this thing can be a very good kind of personal assistant. Keep track of your appointments, reminders, things like that. This isn't tough, guys. This thing is not going to, it's not a G-Shock. It's not going to survive being trashed and all that. But at the same time, bringing this for the occasional trip out in the woods, taking care of it, not getting it soaked, this thing will be decent for you. I've used it quite a bit. I've worn it to work, oh my God, a couple dozen times, and people are very interested in it at work. People are always like, oh, wow, can you check your email on that? And you can, which is awesome. And it's been nice, because there's been times where, like, I'm in the car and you get a message or something and boom, you can just look at your wrist real quick. You don't got to pull out your phone, anything like that. So a lot of cool implications for smartwatches. I think, right now they're not going to take off because the batteries are too limited and the functionality is too limited. But I think as the technology increases and the batteries get better and all that, I really wouldn't be surprised to see these be the big thing in the next, 3 to 5 years. But for now, very limited usefulness, to be honest. It's cool, it's fun, it's a toy. It's a toy. There, that's what I'm looking for. It's a toy. It's something to play with. It's not perfect. So if it's fun, you're a tech guy, you like playing around with this stuff, might not be a bad idea to try it out and see what you think. For me, like I said, I want this for maps. I want it for things like that. I'm on the road so much. I want a backup. What if I lose my phone? What if my phone gets broken? I really want a separate independent backup, and this will do. And even if I turn this off, charged, and leave it in my car, at least I have it in case of an emergency. And that, for me, is kind of what I'm looking for this. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Not a horrible little product for the money.